Hello, welcome to Barley Insurance's inaugural News Week presentation. We're kind of excited about this, and I hope that we're going to set a trend in the market for communicating with clients, and it's so much easier than sending out a newsletter and letting people take their time to read it. Hopefully with this presentation you'll see it every Friday. That's the plan, and it's a lot easier to listen to than reading screeds of notes. So once again, welcome. So the first part of it is basically to give you an update of the current events in the insurance market in the last week, and at the end of each presentation we actually invite a guest to talk about a certain aspect of what we consider the risk. Not necessarily an insurance policy, but the world of risk as a whole. So here we go. Cybercrime. There is a policy that covers cybercrime. It's been out there now for 8 to 12 months, and it's a growing market. The reason for it is because more businesses are getting hacked. There is a greater call for ransom payments, and it is a real threat for businesses. There's actually a number of cases that we've actually had to deal with, and it's cost our clients an awful lot of money. So be very wary. Our guest speaker at the end of this presentation is actually an expert on cybercrime from a legal perspective. He's not representing an insurance company or me, and it's a very unbiased report. So I hope that you'll enjoy that. NZI Insurance Company, they've just advised us that they are no longer in the travel industry, providing travel insurance products for domestic and commercial. So that is actually a channel which is disappeared overnight. The reason for that is because insurance companies are getting hit a lot with travel claims. However, we've still got available to us the commercial suppliers for business travel, corporate travel, and also we've got QBE Insurance Company supplying travel insurance for the individual. P-Labs. This is a common and a growing problem with property owners, and more specifically with people that are actually buying a property. Make certain that the property is tested, because it costs a lot of money to actually clean up the meth and the chemicals from those homes that have been damaged. Health and safety. We're still talking to many of our clients about the requirements of health and safety, and although most of our clients now have manuals, there is still the necessity to be compliant. So that means actually having weekly meetings with your staff members and making them involved, getting them to take ownership of the risks associated with working in your business. That's vitally important, because one of the things that you don't want to have is be fined by health and safety at work for an incident that could have been prevented. There is a growing demand for professional indemnity insurance. We're now getting an awful lot of requests from builders and those that are in the building trade for professional indemnity insurance, specifically those that are involved with the design work and are contracted to by the various architects that are out there. So many of the builders and supply trade organizations, they relied on public liability and statutory liabilities in the past. We're now explaining to them and suggesting to them that they take professional indemnity insurance, because even if you're not being paid for the advice that you give to an individual or to a company, if you give that advice, you are going to be held liable for it. There are various solutions to help you escape that liability, but it's a really important issue and cover for you to consider. So next time I talk to you on the phone, or you listen to this and you want to find out more about that cover, please phone me. Premiums. This is always a hot topic for a lot of our clients. The premiums for commercial risks, I believe, are going to remain relatively static in the next 12 months, but I also feel that the clock is actually going to turn, and that the premiums are actually might increase again, because we do know about this insurance cycle. The premiums, I think, have actually dropped as low as they're going to, and I hear other cases where the premium, including earthquake, is a lot lower than it was, say, even a year ago or 2 years ago. So there's some real benefits to be obtained from the market at the moment, but I would budget for next year or the next 24 months having an increased premium. Contents and house insurance. Talking to Suzanne, who looks after that side of it for us, she says that again the premiums are very static, and in some cases the premiums have actually reduced, but much of it depends on where you live in New Zealand, and of course the size of the house and the contents that you have. One of the topics that I talk to a lot about to my clients is valuations. I can't stress more than enough to you to make certain that items of jewellery, anything over $3,000, it needs to be valued. You need to have your items of jewellery checked at least every 12 months and get a certificate from the jeweller saying that it's been checked, because the insurance companies are now applying the old warranty that existed say, 20, 25 years ago, whereby if the item of jewellery was not checked, they would decline the claim, especially when it was an item such as a lost stone. So please make certain that next time you're talking to your jeweller, check out having the item of jewellery cleaned and checked and get a certificate, and then forward that certificate to us. Which brings me on to another subject. We're actually very keen on insuring classic cars and 4x4s. And one of the things that you should always consider when you have these toys, you spend an awful lot of money on the maintenance and spare parts and the tools that you use. Please make certain that if any money is being spent on these items, you keep a register and a record of the amount spent, and you keep that in a folder, because in the event of loss or damage, the insurance company is going to come back and they are going to ask you for proof. And there's nothing worse than having to try and cobble together information under a feeling of stress and having to deal with assessors asking you these tricky questions and then expecting and demanding prompt payment. So just be very mindful of that. And I know that we talk to a lot of our clients about that, because it's really important to make the claim flow a lot easier for the check to be paid out a lot quicker. So that's our basic news for this week. We trust you found it informative. If you have any questions or want to discuss any element or issue that I've raised, please contact me. I'm more than happy to help you through your insurance requirements, and trying to mitigate your risks. So thank you for your time. We now have great pleasure in introducing you to Steve Keel, barrister, who is going to talk to us about cybercrime and the legal implications behind cybercrime. So I'm doing the interview, so I hope you will enjoy the next few minutes talking with Steve. Thank you.